Here you go, guys. We're live now.
Sam, you need to respect the community. That's
we're live. Where's
position.
LB and Dan? Chat. Because you guys are always blaming me, but I'm innocent. Where's everyone? Where's LB? Where's Dan? Dan lagged out because his mic was lagging, and LB is late. See how you blame the wrong people every single time? People would have probably thought it's Touchline's fault. It's not.
I'm never late. I'm never late.
That's the point. I'm saying people would have thought, because people think wrong. That's the point, buddy.
Yeah, anyway. They're frauds.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another stream. We are here to talk about Liverpool Football Club and Chelsea Football Club and City Football Club and Arsenal and Man United, who want Kadioglu as well. So there's plenty of things to talk about. Big up to all you guys locked in. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Please, every single one of you, please hit the like button right now and subscribe to the channel right here, right now. Big up to all of you. And let's get this party started. Dan will be joining us now as soon as he sorts out his mic situation. And LB will be joining us in about like 2 minutes. So there's only one place to start, of course. There's only one place to start, of course. And that's
with the big spenders.
Say it again.
With the big spenders, bro. That's where we're going to start, yeah?
Yeah, let's start. We need to have a discussion about what Liverpool's expectations are this season. Because you spent 700 million on top of a squad that already won the league. You've got 300 million pound players now. I believe you and Chelsea the only ones, I imagine, that have them. No, 100 million pound players.
Yeah, we do have 300 million pound players in the squad. Yeah,
yeah, and they have as well now as well. So that for me, it comes with expectation. As on top of the fact that they said last season all that stuff about how they're going to dominate the league and etc. etc. So yeah, listen, for me, there needs to be big expectations on Liverpool. They blamed Arnie Slot last year. He's not there anymore. I need to know what the expectations are because you got the Van Dijk, the best centre back ever. They got Alisson, the most complete goalkeeper ever. They got Isak, who's a world class striker. They got Florian Wirtz, the magician. They got Szoboszlai, who everyone loves to tell me is good, even though I don't think he is, but that's just me. They got McAllister, World Cup winner. Now they've got Bouaddi Barcola, who's one of the best wingers in the world. So I need to know the expectation. Sam.
First, before you know my expectation, how about you tell me your thoughts on Bouaddi Barcola first? How about that?
I think he's good, bro.
I just said he's one of the best wingers in the world.
Wow, thanks, guys. You gave me 2 sentences. Great content creation.
No.
Cool. Bouaddi Barcola is one of the best wingers in the world.
Touchline thinks he's great, and Charlie thinks he's good.
No. Are you gonna let me finish, Sam? You gonna let me finish?
No, you stopped. Don't say let me finish.
I was just gathering my thoughts, bro. Are you going to let me carry on?
Go ahead.
Yep, thank you. Now, bro, I think you've gone out there and you've got the best possible winger you can in the market. I think the price, all things considered, actually isn't terrible. And, you know, you needed someone, and it's better than going to get Minte or getting Ismaila Sarr or any of these guys. You might still get Ismaila Sarr maybe as another option. I don't know. But to get Barcola in, statement signing, you needed someone to come in and in that wide area. And his end product's not great, needs a bit of work on that still, but he's going to give you something you don't have. You know, he's direct, he takes players on, he can beat a man. You know, these things that he's all important things to have in a wide player. The price is big, the expectation is going to be big on him, but I think he's got the ability to establish himself as one of the best. He's going to need a bit of time to adapt, but unfortunately, as we all know, when you spend big money on these players, nobody gets any time. So he's going to have to come in and hit the ground running. But I think he will make a big difference to that attack. You playing him left or right?
I think he's going to be a bit of both.
Testing.
Yes. Hi, Dan. You're no longer great. Fantastic. Let's go.
Yes, we're sorted.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. This is a great sign. Bouaddi Barcola is. I mean, I don't understand it. People sit there and tell you that they'll sit there and wank off Desire Doué, but then sit there and tell you Barcola's shit. Barcola outscores him and gets more assists than him, and Barcola is better than him. So it just makes no sense to me. That the Doué fetish and then hating on Barcola. Yeah, he misses a few chances, but he also creates those chances. There's nothing he can't do as a winger. He can dribble one-on-one. He can dribble in tight spaces. Maybe not to an elite level, but he can finish with either foot. He can cut inside and shoot. He can score inside the box. He can create as well. He's not pretending he can't. He's got literally everything you want to be an elite winger. So I don't understand why people don't like him and they love Doué. It doesn't make sense to me when they're playing the same team and Barcola's been better than him for PSG, in my opinion.
The reason why I asked you that is I know Touchline rates Barcola highly. I've seen the posts on YouTube and the videos and stuff like this. Yeah, smile, fraud. He's like, what do you do when one of your favorite players in the world signs for a club you hate? You know, so you can answer the question now because it's happened.
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to change my opinion on him. Unless he plays the first minute and first game and he gives away a goal or something like that, he does something stupid, then my agenda will start. But as a player, yeah, I think he's brilliant, bro. I don't understand it. I hear people keep saying he's the Black Martinelli and all this stuff. I think it's mad. I think he's so much clear of these players. Like, I think he's one of the best wingers in the world. I really do.
Dan?
Yeah, I wanted him. Honestly, I wanted Barcola. I was really surprised at the number. I agree with Touchline. I think the number of people the things I was seeing is like, oh, he's profligate in front of goal. I don't know. When I'm looking at players up front, I always subscribe to the Ian Wright view. Is like, take the chances. Your job is to take the chances. If you miss a few, but like his record, he's won 2 Champions Leagues in a row. I don't know where the idea that he's crap comes from. I wanted him. I thought that you'd negotiate. I thought he wanted Liverpool all the way along. Otherwise, I think we would have gone in harder for him. He solves a problem at Arsenal that we need solving. The only thing I'd say on this is I think Florian Wirtz was one of the best players in the Bundesliga. I just thought he was amazing. Couldn't believe you got him. Isak was a great... Sometimes there's something else that happens to players when they come, and I don't know if you're going to see the best out of him straight away, but if I'd found out that we signed Bradley Barcola, I would have been more than happy with that.
Sam, are you happy with it?
Yeah, he is. He's over the moon, bro. I see his video.
Yes, of course I'm happy with it, 100%. I wanted Bradley Barcola since he was at Lyon. I've been a massive fan of Bradley Barcola. I really like him. I agree with what Touchline said. That's why before we start doing this agenda shit and talk about expectations, we talk about the player first? I think Barcola is a fantastic signing. I wanted him from when he was at Lyon. The ones that watch me in the chat will tell you I've really liked him for a really long time. I think he's a fantastic player, and I think he's underrated as well. And he's overhated. Like people, it's just because he missed a chance or whatever it is in the Champions League final or blah blah blah. Like, oh, he doesn't take his chances.
He created that chance
back seasons. Like Doué got locked up in the Champions League final. In the same final, Arsenal locked him up. Same with Dembele. Same with all these players. Listen, Arsenal have a very good defense. It's difficult to turn up against Arsenal, but Barcola did turn up against Chelsea, and he had big moments for PSG too this season and the season before that. So I think he's an overhated player. He is capable of creating. I know this season, obviously, he didn't get that many assists in Ligue A, but he is capable of creativity. He did it the year before that. He had 10 assists as well in Ligue A, so he can create chances. I think this is the signing that's exciting. This is the signing that gets you off the edge of your seat. This is a player that, like, when he comes on the pitch, you get excited. You look forward to watching him. You look forward to him doing something. So, yeah, obviously, I think it's a great signing. And he comes on and he's probably immediately the second or third best winger in the league directly.
I think he's the best.
You could say best too, by the way. You could.
No, he's the
I
best
think to begin with, though, I reckon he might do better in Europe to begin with, whilst he's finding his feet. I think the style of the Champions League probably suits him a little bit better. I think he obviously will find his feet in the Premier League. I'd be very surprised if he wasn't a success. But I think initially, to begin with, he will fare better in the Champions League. I just think that European football suits his game a little bit more. But he'll create chances. Isak needs to fix up. He'll be creating plenty of opportunities for Isak to try and put away. Maybe Barcola signing may help get a bit more out of Florian Wirtz in some way. I don't know, but you've now got an attack on paper, or 3 players on paper in Barcola, Isak, Wirtz, that if they're all playing to the absolute best of their capabilities, it's right up there in terms of the best in the league. But again, it's too big. There's a big question mark on Isak, and there's big question marks on Florian Wirtz as well. So if Iraola can get something out of those 2 players, and Barcola comes in and does what we expect him to do, then you've got a very good front line to help do something this season. Obviously, you need to fix up the midfield. The fullbacks don't look great or whatever, but from an attacking perspective, it looks quite promising. And look, you might, I don't know, Sam, you're going to add one more out wide? You're going to press it? You're going to go again for Ismail Assar, or what's going to go on? Do you reckon you might get one more?
Oh, that's a great question, because the right-hand side right now is basically a huge debate, even in the Liverpool space.
Was it Rio?
No, because the whole right-hand area, we went from like Diomande at the start of the window to Minte and Mbaye to Ismail Assar. And even the Ismail Assar thing got rejected, by the way. The Ismail Assar bid got rejected. I never liked it, wasn't it? Competing with the Galatasaray for players. That's not usually a good sign. But
he's not.
I don't know who else is on the list. Who's next?
But do you need one more? My point is, do you need one more?
Yes, a right winger. Yes, because I think Gakpo's going to leave.
Why have you gone off the Gakpo? Why have Liverpool seemingly gone off Mbaye?
Probably price tag. They want too much. That's what I think, at least, and that's what the journalists have said. Maybe that PSG want too much money. You know, I like Mbaye. I take Mbaye as well. Young, potential player, exciting.
So out of the three, bro, right? Out of Ismail Assar, Minte, and Mbaye, which one would you rather have?
Out of those three, in order, I'd go Mbaye 1, 2, Sarr, 3, Minte. I think Minte is dreadful.
I think
he really is.
Were you at
the Amex when Brighton beat you 3-0?
Obviously, bro, yeah. I mean, he got cooked.
You know that they won 3-0 and Minte was the worst player on the pitch.
Oh, mate, to be honest, I wasn't really watching Minte. I was just...
You're watching Caicedo pass it to the Brighton players. Anyway. Now, when it comes to expectation, here's the thing, Mr. Touchline. You know that even if you sign a world-class player or an amazing player in one position, that does not mean...
You've got plenty.
I literally thought that Charlie started vaping there. I got so shocked. I thought Charlie started vaping.
I'm hydrating.
It looks like a vape as well. I was like, shit, why is Charlie vaping?
Nah, bro, I'm hydrating.
Yes, keep getting hydrated. That's a great idea. Look, expectations...
You haven't just got one world-class player, though. You lot love to tell me Szoboszlai is world class, or some Liverpool fans tell me Szoboszlai is world class. Florian Wirtz, we
don't. You get annoyed when people label what Ahmed say to you? Yes.
All right.
So why are you telling me what other people say?
But like Ahmed goes extreme. Like the general consensus.
Yeah, but so you're mentioning extreme examples. Why the hell? Who said Szoboszlai is world class?
Okay, but a lot of Liverpool fans rate Szoboszlai.
That doesn't mean we think he's world class.
I think
the only players that are world class in the team are Alisson and Van Dijk, and that's it.
So you don't think that Wirtz and Isak would have got that tag a year ago?
No, they're not world class. They haven't.
A year ago, they wouldn't have got that tag. A year ago,
Isak was world class at Newcastle.
You don't pay, big up LB. You don't pay money just for world class now. You pay money for potential.
But Florian Wirtz would have had a world class rep coming into the Premier League. Let's not pretend he didn't. He wouldn't.
No, he had world class potential, but he didn't match that in the league.
What do you mean he didn't match in the league? What was he doing?
Meaning last season he was not.
Oh, last season.
I'm talking about before last season. I'm talking about when you signed him.
Yeah, when we signed him from Leverkusen, I just said he had world class potential, but he wasn't world class yet.
He was the best player in the Bundesliga when you signed him. Yeah.
He was.
But it's all very well having these attacking signings, right, and these players, and it all looks good in theory. The midfield, someone needs to come in, because I watched that Newcastle game. Both times, and it's happened in all pre-season as well, easily beaten on transition, like particularly that second goal, right? How has Visser got past like four guys? And then, so for me, unless it's all very well having Barcolas and your Isaks and your Wirtzes and all these guys, if you don't get a proper midfield player in, it's all useless, because you just get done on transition. It was happening every time in pre-season. It's happened match week 1 twice, and it's cost you 2 goals. Like
Charlie just answered Touchline's question for me, and that's exactly why I can't expect this team to win the league. Our defense, for me, is not even the 6th or 7th best defense in the whole league.
It's poor.
That ain't my problem. You bought Jacket for 70 million. You bought Frimpong for 40, and you bought Kirkes for 40, and you bought
our midfield is an issue as well. We need a DM. We need a DM.
Do you think you get one?
day 535 of 1,461. He dunked on your head top and PSG beat you like 9-2, bro. Shut the hell
To
up.
be
You were
fair,
crying.
he did actually do us. He smacked one top bins and then done a drop for celebration.
You were crying in Paris, Lewis. Never forget. With that dusty ass belt. Get it washed, buddy. It stinks. Now back to the top. I think, look, my expectations for this season is play good football, finish in the top 5, and win a domestic cup.
Top 5.
Yes.
You spent 700 million in the last year.
Can we not do this, please? We're not good enough to win the league. We know this.
Guys, yeah, we know that. We know that, but you should be good enough.
Okay, everyone stop. Touchline. Who's a better manager, Arteta or Iraola?
Arteta.
Who has a better keeping situation, Arsenal or Liverpool?
No.
No. Answer the question.
What does a keeping situation mean?
Question, see?
Tell me what a keeping situation.
When I corner them. Answer.
Tell me what a keeping situation means.
The goalkeepers, plural.
I've been no goalkeeper, because goalkeepers.
No, I'm asking.
No one says, "Oh, I've got a better backup goalkeeper than you, so I can win the league." Like that's not how it works, right?
Yes, people do.
What?
Yes, they do.
They definitely don't. I would never sit there and go, "I've got a better squad than someone because I've got a better backup goalkeeper."
Alisson does stay fit the whole season anyway.
Alisson's apparently the most complete goalkeeper of all time. So I mean, he should be better than
now
Raya,
we're doing narrative.
Alisson's injured for a couple of months now, anyway, isn't he?
No, that was fake, mate.
Oh, is that fake news?
Yeah.
I'm not doing narrative. Well, yeah, I'm doing. Actually, I'm going to push narrative.
No, you're doing narrative.
You lot have told us for years. Not saying maybe not you specifically. I don't know about you specifically, but Liverpool fans push narrative that he's the most complete goalkeeper, not just in the Premier League, of all time in football. So why is David Raya now better than him?
Man United fans said Bruno Fernandes is better than Paul Scholes.
David Raya is the best goalkeeper in the world.
No, they don't.
So now we're going to take a step back. Do we want to continue narratives this whole stream, or you can tell me?
No, but because that isn't a narrative that United fans
in Touchline's opinion, who's better, Raya or Alisson? Who would you rather have at Man United?
Oh, yeah, Raya.
As of right now, I'd rather Raya. My opinion, yeah.
I agree because he's always fit.
But we're not going off my opinion. We're going off what you lot say.
Relax. Who has a better defense, Liverpool or Arsenal?
Obviously Arsenal. Arsenal got way better defense.
Who has a better midfield, Arsenal or Liverpool?
Right, Arsenal.
Come on. Yeah, Arsenal.
I think your attack's better though.
Okay,
like,
guess what?
Touchline. Not form-wise,
I think
but
Liverpool have a better attack than Arsenal, and you would probably agree with that.
Because the point is you've spent.
The
money
point
badly.
is we agree that in 4 facets, manager, midfield, defense, and keeper, Arsenal are better. So how can I sit up here and go like we should win the league?
That's not how it works. That's not how it works.
That is how it works.
That's not how it works. Because so you weren't cooking. You don't cook Carefree Lewis with that clip that he said we've got the team now to go challenge and things like that. Because that's the narrative he's pushing. You know, it's not as if you believe it. You didn't believe that Chelsea had a good enough team.
No, I don't think we can win the league. I don't.
But Liverpool fans, I'm talking about Liverpool fans as a whole. These opinions they hold. Like a lot of Liverpool fans believe Alisson is the best keeper in Premier League history and the most complete goalkeeper of all time. They believe Van Dijk is the best centre back of all time. So when you've got all this Isak as well, as someone put in the chat, you said he was the second. And Mo played the video that you said you're guaranteed to win everything now when you signed Isak. Yeah, he's the second best striker.
I was wrong. So
there you go. So you
and last summer,
I'm holding Isak to those standards. He's 120. He's the most expensive.
Just a me thing, by the way. You all said Liverpool are going to win the league, probably.
No, I didn't. I said Arsenal win the league last season, so nice try.
Okay,
to be fair, cool. I thought Liverpool would win the league. I'll be honest.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. I had Liverpool third.
99% of football fans said Liverpool are going to win the league last summer.
But Isak is like genuinely like Isak is a problem at the moment. Like the guy just looks lost.
I don't think Isak is the problem. I think Verse is the problem.
I think they're both a problem because they're both playing terribly. So they are both. They're both a massive issue.
I watch Isak at Newcastle away, and we don't even create him like a single clear-cut goal.
He had chances, bro.
I hear you're not creating much for him, right? But as a striker, right, if you're not getting the ball, you need to try and make something happen for yourself.
No,
you need to come in. So for me, I look at Isak, right, and it was very telling. And he might not be the designated penalty taker at Liverpool. Maybe it's Sabozla, I don't know. But when you're the club record signing, you're the number 9. In my opinion, you shouldn't be being a pussy and shying away from that penalty right at the end, because you should be stepping up and doing what big money number 9s do and score big pressure penalties in big moments. for me, that was quite telling about his character and his mindset of where he's at right now. Because that was an opportunity not only to, silence the Newcastle fans who'd been abusing him all game. That was an opportunity for him to, maybe get some of that pressure off him. And that was an opportunity as well for all of us to have an all-time Barclays moment. And why was he not taking it? If my number 9, I'd spent 120 million quid on, was shying away from a penalty, I'd be pretty pissed.
No, but apparently it wasn't. It was Szoboszlai who said he's taking the penalty.
But Szoboszlai is the designated penalty taker.
If he's a designated
Charlie,
penalty
I'm so disappointed in you. You're better.
But that is a bit embarrassing. That the fact that Szoboszlai is a designated penalty taker.
But I'm saying it. But I did caveat.
Why
though?
The guy scored the pen. Why?
No, he did score the pen. It was a top pen.
Your striker should take your pens in every
What I'm saying is, though,
thank you, LB, for being honest.
No, I'm being honest. I did caveat that by saying if he is the designated penalty taker, fair enough. But I would wonder, why is Isak not the designated penalty taker?
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, if you were okay, no problem.
Why is that something? Why is that?
Because striker should take your pens.
Why?
Unless, obviously,
why?
The best penalty taker should take the pens.
Salah took the penalty,
and your striker should be your best penalty taker. In every
no, says who?
Not
in every it says people who play football.
No.
They take 100 penalties every training session.
The best penalty taker for me is the guy that strikes the ball the best. That's not always the striker.
No, it's not.
Bruno Fernandes has taken the penalty.
Erling Haaland is not the best.
Yeah, because we've had shit strikers. You're proving my point. We've had shit strikers. That's why.
You guys have had Lukaku. You guys have had good ones. Not
Bruno wasn't there when Lukaku was there, so that's not that.
But you can use example.
And we had Ronaldo, and when Ronaldo was there, Ronaldo took the pens. So
Messi takes pens and he shit at them. Messi, for all his qualities he's got, is awful at penalties, and he's still
certain. What's the word? Anomaly, if you will, because Messi's obviously the best player.
He is, but he's terrible at penalties.
He's going to take the pens, and he wants to get the 90 goals of the year and all that stuff. But majority, other than a couple of exceptions, the striker is always the best, or should be at least. The best
to be fair, when
they take penalties every training session, they do 100 penalties.
I do disagree a little bit. When we were winning loads, right, under Mourinho and whatnot, Drogba was in top form, but Lampard was always the penalty taker because he was the best penalty taker.
So why did Lampard take it over Drogba then?
Because he was better.
Right. So
Jorginho, has he ever missed one?
In a pressure moment, Szoboszlai just took a fantastic.
No, I agree, but my point is that I would have wanted, for me personally, I would have rather have seen. I don't know, even if
you're saying that, but because you wanted Isak to step up and
yes.
That's what you wanted, Charlie. I agree. I wanted that as well.
I wanted a shithouse moment. I did want a shithouse moment.
I wanted to see that as well. But the facts are that was the correct decision.
No, I hear that. I did want a shithouse moment, by the way. It would have been amazing.
I did as well. I wanted Isak to step up and miss. It would have been seen.
I was so disappointed.
But that was the correct decision.
Let's take a step back. Let's dunk on Charlie once for all. Charlie, who's your designated penalty taker right now?
Well, I think it's still Cole Palmer. So
great. I agree with you. If you were away at Aston Villa and you were 2-1 down, and in the 97th minute you got a penalty, is Morgan Rogers a pussy for not taking the penalty?
Yeah.
No. But how many penalties has Rogers taken in his career?
All right. Just like that. I mean, he's their own club against them, and it's tomato. It's game over. It's finished. You got to be so.
Oh.
Yeah, you can't say, guys. Szoboszlai, look, for the last.
Now, Szoboszlai is great at set pieces. He is.
I think Szoboszlai in his whole career has only missed one. Like, he scored the penalty to qualify Hungary to the Euros, and he scored plenty of pressure penalties. And it's logical that he's the penalty taker after Mo. Last season, when Slot dropped Mo, Sobo also took the penalties, not Isak. Anyway, so he's just the penalty taker in the team. That's all.
Fair, isn't it? But Sam, your expectation is top five.
Stop being shameless. I said top 5, a domestic trophy, and better football. That's what I said.
But like banter aside, right? With the Barcola signing, right?
Our defense is a brothel, you guys.
Let me finish.
I don't care. You've got three 100 million pound players in your team.
And a Weetabix, and you think I can win the league.
But what I'm saying is, right, whether you think the expectations have changed or not, right, from an external standpoint, whether it's Liverpool fans or other fans or whatever, would you admit that when you sign another £100 million plus player, does that not raise the expectations? Whether you've got a good enough team or not, naturally, when you add £100 million player, another one to your squad, naturally that level of expectation rises, whether you're ready or not.
I'm going to answer you honestly, not in today's market.
You don't think so?
Oh, what? So who else?
LB's club just signed Gallagher Pro Max for 118 million. Now what?
We've added an extra
but they've
2
got
million
Holland. They've got one player in their team 100 million.
No, they're about to sign Enzo for 140. Allow it.
They're not going to sign him, but that's cool. But they got, even if they do, then the expectation, by the way, should still be for them to win the league as well. By the way,
can I tell you my honest thing? Let me tell you my honest thing. I think Arsenal will win the league.
Yeah,
I think
agreed.
City are second favorites. I'm always going to give City a chance because they have Haaland. That's a nuclear weapon right there. So I'm never going to push them to the side. And they've got Foden and players who have done that, etc. Now, if both of them fall off and Liverpool don't win the league, I'll be disappointed. Like if it's Man United or Chelsea to win the league, I'll be disappointed, yes. But if it's Arsenal and City, I can't be disappointed because they've got better managers, better squads, better starting 11s.
Sam, do you think... Sam, just quickly,
do you think you've got a better team than us?
Yes.
So why are you saying top 5 then?
Do you think you've got a better team than us?
Yes.
You think you've got
why are you saying top 5? So you can't say you've got a better team than us.
Because I think the teams from 2nd to 5th will be separated by 6 points.
Yeah,
I don't even think there will be a title race to begin with, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, after Arsenal, all the other teams like that will be potentially going for it are all of a similar-ish level.
Yeah, we're similar levels. I think City are slightly ahead of us all, but we're similar levels. Like,
I mean, genuinely, it wouldn't surprise me if any of those 4 teams behind Arsenal come second. I think it is very open for that second place.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Arsenal winning the league, 15-point difference, and then 2nd to 5th separated by 6 to 8 points. That's it. It could be City 2nd, City 5th, Liverpool 2nd, Liverpool 5th. It's open, like Man United, Chelsea.
So it doesn't really fucking matter, bro, whether you finish 3rd, 4th, or 5th.
It is true. It is true.
Who gives a shit?
It does matter, though, doesn't it?
Thank you, LB. You know, I argued that for a whole hour yesterday.
You haven't parade for third place?
So if you finish 2nd, 1 point off the top, and it's the same as finishing 5th.
I didn't say 2nd.
Well, you don't win the league. So
you just said 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and 5th.
No, I didn't. I said 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Well, that's what the conversation is. So
to be fair, I do agree to an extent.
So if you finish 3rd, you think that's materially better than finishing 5th?
Yeah.
For prize money,
you've won more games.
But what I mean is, though, right?
I could not care less whether my team finished 3rd.
I hear it. Champions League football.
I hear it. If you're not winning the league, whether you're 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th makes no difference other than prize money. Like, because at the end of the day, there's only one winner, and that's what everybody wants. So, like, nobody's going to be celebrating coming 2nd, in my opinion. You either win the league, or the rest of it is Champions League football, and it makes no difference if you're 2, 3, 4, or 5.
No.
Look,
I gave you would I rather come 2nd than 5th? Sure, absolutely. I'd rather finish 2nd, but ultimately, the prize is exactly the same. Like, we're playing Champions League football and we didn't win the league. So
look, I gave you my honest assessment. I think Arsenal are better than us at 4 out of 5 facets. It's very easy to say Liverpool have the better forward line, and we will all agree. But the rest of the team is Arsenal, and to be fair, by far Arsenal. Specifically, if I include depth, with all due respect. Arsenal bench centre-backs and bench full-backs start at Liverpool. They're bench ones.
Is your attack better than Arsenal? What's your attack?
Barcola, Isak, and whoever, I'm taking over the Arsenal.
But you're taking it, but it's not proven anything. Like, Isak has still scored about, 4 Premier League goals since he's been at your club? Wirtz has done fuck all since he's been at your club.
I'm not including Wirtz. Wirtz is in midfield. He's good. The 10.
Who's your right winger?
Whoever.
So we don't even know whoever the right winger is.
Probably Mbai. I don't know.
So I don't think you can sit there and say that you've got a better attack than Arsenal.
I think we do, because in a combined situation, you would go Barcola, Isak, and Saka.
Yeah, but Isak's not proving it at Liverpool.
I agree with you, but Gyökeres hasn't proven it either.
He's proven
I don't think Gyökeres will be the striker for Arsenal this season.
Havertz.
Yeah, but then if we're
Gyökeres is getting dropped, bro.
Havertz and Gyökeres are proving it more at Arsenal than Isak has for Liverpool.
Yeah, but that's because they've won stuff. But that doesn't mean that they're better.
No, because they've scored more. They've actually.
It's the same thing with like saying Martinelli.
You literally did a video, Hossam, yeah, cussing out Isak and Wirtz.
At the end of the day, we're only talking on paper because Bruno Guimaraes hasn't proven it at Arsenal.
Sam, what do Isak and Wirtz have to do this season for you to consider it a good season from them? What do they need to be achieving?
Look, you guys have known me long enough. You know I don't baby players. This season, they are all going to get called out.
Yeah,
Wirtz,
so what do they need to do?
Kerkez, whoever it is, every single one of them, they all have to perform. They all have to step up on the pitch and show that they're worth wearing a Liverpool shirt. There is no more scapegoating. The Newcastle game, the reason why I was so disappointed is because everyone outside Rio Gomoa, who was on the right by necessity, everyone was put in a position to succeed and they simply didn't. Kerkez and Frimpong put in 7 crosses combined. Only one of them was accurate. Wirtz was in a position, and you guys know I defended him all last season, but I'm not going to defend him anymore. Wirtz was in a position where he could have affected the game multiple times. You guys all watched it. He got it in dangerous positions. He did nothing with it. Gravenberg can't pass to save his life, out here moving like a ballerina on the football pitch. All these things, it's on the players. The reason why last season we blamed the manager, because I know that's going to be Charlie's next question. Because I'm not even talking about manager. No reverse. Oh, last season you blamed Slot. Kerkez was asked to underlap. Frimpong was asked to underlap. Szoboszlai was played right back. Wirtz was played on the wing. People were being asked to do shit that they're not good at. If I'm asking you to do shit that you're good at and you look like shit, that's on you. That's not on me. I'm gonna use an analogy which I've used before. If I put Charlie on a baseball stream and Charlie looks like shit, that's my fault. But if I put Charlie on a football stream and he looks like shit, that's his fault because the football's supposed to be his forte. So that's the thing. I'm putting you on this panel because you know how to speak about the sport. I'm putting you in a position where you're comfortable. You have to perform.
And that speech is great, mate. But you haven't answered the question, brother. What would be an acceptable season for Isak and Wirtz? For example, in the league, does Isak need to be getting 15
I think
goals?
Wirtz needs to get 20 GA.
Yeah. What, just league 18, or all comps?
You know, like 17. No, Prem only. 17.
Just Prem only,
16.
Right?
You know, he needs to get like 10 assists, 8 goals, something like this.
Yeah.
Isak, for me, high 10s, low 20s, and it would be good. Like 19, 20, 21, 22, like this.
Yeah, okay.
So I do have expectations for them, of course. They all have to perform. I'm not running away from
I think Isak will score goals. I just think Wirtz looks lost to me.
I think Wirtz is
I actually agree with LB. I'm more worried about Wirtz than Isak, I'll be honest.
I've been saying this after this last season. This guy, I don't see.
Guys,
I don't think he suits the league. I don't think he suits the league at all.
I think Isak will bag goals. I think Wirtz is the problem.
I just think he's not as technical as he's not like Juan Mata or David Silva, where they could just play in any sort of part of the pitch and just look like levels. In terms of that technical level, he hasn't got the license of a Bruno to just spam the ball a million times, or the relentlessness of a Bruno to spam the ball a million times, or De Bruyne.
But Sam, do you think
he isn't physical? So
Charlie has a lot of questions for me. Why don't you show the same energy in the City section, buddy?
I will do. Well, Sam, for you, right? Obviously, because Klopp's manager of Germany now. Do you think Wirtz working with Klopp could have a beneficial impact on him for his Liverpool form? Because he has looked a bit better when he plays with Germany compared to...
Wirtz, no agenda. You could legitimately make the argument that Wirtz was Germany's best player. International football is different, and Bundesliga is different.
It is different, but do you think Klopp can help him at all in any way?
He might, but look, here's my thing with Florian Wirtz. The game against Newcastle, that Wirtz performance, I could have put Curtis Jones in his position and we've gotten the same performance. I think I disagree with Touchline on the technical thing. You watch Florian Wirtz, and even Mo has said this when I've worked with him after games. You can see the technique. The first touch is great. The passing looks crisp. But I just don't think that there is enough risk-taking. That's the part I agree with Touchline. Maybe, he's not comfortable with having the license to perform yet. But he needs to perform in terms of output, in terms of creativity, in terms of creating big chances. These are the things that will make a difference to Wirtz's career. Now, let's move on from Liverpool. Let me do the supers. I'm going to move on. Big up to Ed, who says, but he wants to live in London. Ed hasn't gotten over that AFTV update. Big up to you, Ed. Thank you so much for the super chat. Martinelli outperformed in the Champions League. Yes, but Martinelli also had 1 goal in 30 Premier League games, Brian. And Martinelli scored goals against Sparta Prague and Athletic Bilbao and shit. Brian, I'll be honest with you. I think some of you guys are way too attached to players who are all replaceable. At Arsenal specifically, I see this because we used to be the same club 4 years ago. We are no longer that club now. Barcola scored 2 goals with 8% shot conversion. That's actually not true. I've shown the Squawka stats before. He scored like 9 goals in Liga A or 10 goals in Liga A. And he had, I think he had just like 2% less conversion rate than Doué did. Something like that. We got to Josh Burnham says it's finally over. Hey, Josh, 300 million Barcola thumbnails later. And finally, it's gotten over the line. Hey, all 5 of us are content creators. We know what it's like when there's a saga, bro. And it's just fucking jarring. And every day, Sean is like, yo, there's a new Barcola update. Yesterday, he sent me the Ornstein update that they're negotiating in the final phase. And I'm like, okay, how can I even do a video on this? It's the same shit again. We got to Ace Holding, who says, how am I going to survive without a daily Barcola update from Hussam now? I can't imagine how my days will be filled. FSG, please reverse the transfer. Your days will be filled because you're a subscriber to the Don Hussam channel, and we keep you entertained throughout the transfer window and throughout the Premier League season, which is why you should close the live chat, hit the like button right now, subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to get to 7K followers. I want to be as big as Charlie one day. So close the live chat and hit the like button. And, subscribe to all the links. All the links are in the description. In the Champions League, Barcola had an 8% conversion rate. Fair enough. If he had a bad Champions League campaign, that's fine. But over the last 2 years, he's been very solid when it comes to performing for PSG, to be fair. So, yeah. Now, I want to talk about City and Chelsea. I'm going to let the guys take over because I need to just go pray and come back. LB and Charlie, I think City and Chelsea are almost like same topic, really, because you guys are the kind of, obviously, I know Chelsea are linked to Emi Martinez and stuff, but Enzo Fernandez, again, LB, the links are not going away. 140 million, 130 million reported. Do you think you're eventually going to sign Enzo Fernandez? And after LB answers, please, from Charlie's perspective, do you think Chelsea have enough time to replace him? Go ahead, LB.
I think we'll sign him. I think we'll sign the player because we're desperate for the player. He wants to come to City, and Chelsea are open to selling the player. So I've never seen a situation in which that then doesn't result in a transfer. Literally never. So yeah, I think we sign the player. I'd be stunned if we don't sign the player.
It's a weird one, right? Because admit you've had all summer to sign him, right?
Yeah.
It's been made clear to Enzo and his team and prospective buyers that the 120 million pounds fee that you could buy him for was available from May all the way up until a couple of Fridays ago. Now, that then for me, when Chelsea put out if you're going to be so public and put out a deadline like that, then you should then stand on business and that's end of negotiations. You had your chance to sign the player. It's now not happening. You see what Atletico Madrid have put out a statement today. We're not selling Julian Alvarez to Barcelona. It's not happening. That's what we should have done, right? So when you put out a deadline like that and you make it very public, that should be the end of the situation, because now you put that statement out, and if you go and sell him after you've put the statement out, then you look weak. And I don't want to hear, he got better payment terms, or there was more money up front, or there was this, or there was that. Nonsense. For me, if we can't get Alex Scott or Adam Wharton before the deadline on Monday, this deal should not be happening, because Scott and Wharton are our preferred choices. Probably Scott before Wharton from a Chelsea point of view.
You said this last time. Do you still think that you're not selling Enzo Fernandez to Man City?
Well, at the moment, there's no bid, so he can't go anywhere right now.
I don't think they sell him, man.
I'm in two minds about it, because the way that I see it, right, Xabi Alonso yesterday in the press conference, we've got Luton tonight in the Carabao Cup, right? He said that Enzo Fernandez is going to be involved in the game. He's training well. He's going to be involved in the game. Now, from my point of view, right, when a potential British record transfer, one of the most expensive transfers of all time, is potentially going to happen in the next 2 or 3 days, would a player really be playing in a game where he could do an ACL, he could do an injury that rules him out for half the season or a season, and that deal is completely off the table and gone? If a deal of this magnitude was really that close, he shouldn't be playing tonight. He shouldn't be in the squad. He shouldn't be featuring at all. And unless things have changed today, in the hours from Alonso's press conference yesterday, he's set to be involved, which indicates to me that I'm not saying a deal won't happen, but perhaps a deal isn't as close as what people think. We've been hearing the same recycled news for the last 10 days, 2 weeks. Bids coming, bids coming, bids coming, bids coming. We're now over halfway through Thursday, and there's still no bid. So I'm not saying a bid's not going to come. I think a bid will come. It will be below the £120 million that we want, and there may well be some form of negotiation, and we see what happens. But this is where Chelsea have got to actually stick up for themselves and have a bit of a backbone, because we've made some good progress this summer. We've righted a lot of wrongs and mistakes that we've made in the past, but now you cannot sell Enzo Fernandez and not have a replacement come in. You have to have a top-level replacement come in. And so, for me, if you can't get Scott and you can't get Wharton, the Bournemouth manager today, Marco Rosa, said he's 100% sure that Alex Scott is not leaving the football club. And then he was asked again, and he said, no, not 100%. I'm 120% sure he's not leaving. Now, he could end up looking stupid, potentially. But I know LB's thought on this, like, if you've got the money talks. And I hear that to a certain extent. But when you are, in my opinion, when you're so close to the end of a window, it's not actually necessarily all about the money. It's like, who can I actually go and get to replace who I want? Because it's a knock-on effect, right? Because
all these clubs, the fact that, like, you end up with a player who doesn't want to be there, who gets booed everywhere. And
yeah, and this is
that not worth. Like,
and this is
him.
I mean, this is the flip side as well. I mean, you can look at how players have behaved to get moves, right? In terms of, you see what Isak's done, you see the Julian Alvarez thing now. There's many, many examples. When we signed Wesley Fofana from Leicester, he refused to go to training, he refused to play. We've seen Ollie Watkins refuse to make himself available for selection. So I'm not defending Enzo Fernandez's behaviour, but from how you could go about a move, from how other players have gone about moves in recent times, I think he's behaved in a respectful manner. He's played minutes. He's turned up to training. Alonso says the attitude's good and this and that. Because trust me,
I'm not really saying that I think he's behaved badly. I'm saying that you're not arguing that he wants to stay at Chelsea, are you?
No. He doesn't want to stay at Chelsea.
He wanted to go to Madrid. They didn't obviously come in for him. Manchester City is... Well, look, I don't know. I mean, maybe Manchester City have gone cold on him, but I think he's definitely going to City. I've thought that for a while. I thought the point where Chelsea come out and impose a meaningless deadline in a window that already has a deadline. There's already a deadline to say, well, if you don't do it now, we're not doing it. And then the points you're making are all very good, but they seem to rest on the idea that Chelsea don't want to look stupid in the transfer market.
But I also think we need a replacement, though. Like all the reporting
you do. Of course you
all
do.
the reporting
Sign one then.
Yeah, all the reporting from the Chelsea side of things has been, we'll let him go. If the money's right, so it needs to be more than £120 million, which.
But why
City,
does it?
Because of the way that the market is, right?
Because Dan, they've set this stupid deadline, and they're good. They don't want to look even more stupid than they already have done.
But then I think there's a lot of games going on here as well. Really stupid.
I think there's a lot of games going on.
No, I agree, Dan. Which is why, as soon as they set that deadline, I said it was absolutely stupid that they did.
But there's a lot of games going on here as well, right? Because obviously everything that's happened with Maresca and the two clubs, the relationship is not amazing or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of games going on here because Chelsea won't want to look like they're bending over for City or they're letting City bully them, and then City won't want it to look like that. Oh, we've caved into Chelsea's terms. So if a deal does happen...
When it comes to deals of this magnitude, listen, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just kind of trying to understand it a little bit better. This pride thing that you're talking about, like Chelsea don't want to look like this, Chelsea don't want to look like that. It's like, does it really matter that much? I mean, does anybody out there currently think, my God, Chelsea's a really well-run club who know what they're doing in the transfer market?
But I think, like, not from but from a club point of view, right, particularly under this new ownership, they hate bad PR. And rightly,
bring it on themselves. They bring it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame anyone but them for the bad PR.
No, I absolutely agree. But my point is that they're not going to. They know full well that they're going to be heavily criticised for selling Enzo Fernandez for A, after the deadline, B, less than
themselves.
Yeah. B, less than £120 million.
Is there not a chance that they're going to be heavily criticised for not selling him? Like, I mean, isn't it? If you said, "Oh, look, wouldn't it be better if we'd taken 120 million quid and didn't have a player that we can barely play because he's not?"
What about if he's shit next year because you don't want to be there?
Yeah, he's going to be fit next year.
Is that good? Is that good? Does that look
if
good for Chelsea because you didn't fold? Like the thing is Charlie, yeah, what Chelsea fans are all doing, yeah, what Chelsea club is doing is like they're almost bothered about what they look like in the eyes of rivals and the media, rather than just doing what's best for Chelsea Football Club. Yeah, that's the truth. You set yourself this deadline, not City. So if you set them after the deadline, that's your problem. You set yourself the stupid 120 million fee. So if you end up selling him for less than that or 120 after the deadline, that's your problem. All I keep hearing from Chelsea fans is we don't want to look like the perception. We could have done this deal, yeah. City and Chelsea could have done this deal weeks ago for 105, maybe 110. But you were so bothered about getting one over City and looking like you've won the situation that now you're all panicking. I see all Chelsea fans on Twitter crying at City saying we're trying to sabotage your season. You were the ones that set the stupid deadline. You were the ones that set the fee.
I don't disagree on that, right? But my point is, when City want a player, right? This is a very for me personally, I think this is a very un-City way of going around getting targets. When City lock in and they want someone, they get it done quick. They pay the money and they do it.
If it's reasonable and fair.
But yeah, if it's reasonable and fair.
130 million is reasonable and fair. Do you not think City have a right to negotiate and
of course
delay and try everything they can do?
You've got a right to negotiate.
PSG wanted 170 for Barcola. We got him for 100.
Yeah, but the point I'm making this, Sam, is right. Is you and PSG have got a good relationship. Like the relationship between Chelsea and Manchester City after the Enzo Maresca situation is not good.
It's business, Charlie.
It's business.
They're not married. Like, you know what? It's
I know that.
Do a deal.
But my point is, right, is that if they pay the money, because if City want someone, they pay the money and they do it. Right?
That's right. They're good at it.
Yeah.
They buy players they want and they pay the money they have to.
So my point is, right, if why you've got the money, you've sold the players that you needed to sell.
Yeah.
Why have you not bid? Why are you waiting so long to put a bid in?
Maybe you're asking for 130, 140 million. City are negotiating with you to try and get that fee down.
But we also need a replacement. So for me, right, as I said, the two things, money and the replacement. Yes. If we don't get the money we want and we don't get the replacement we want, then there's no deal to have.
Well, the problem is, Charlie, I said this to you yesterday in your chat, What Chelsea want to do, Chelsea want to have the cake and eat it. Chelsea want to get the maximum possible fee they can for Enzo Fernandez. They want to extract every last penny from Manchester City, but then you also want to go and get a replacement and not get ripped off yourself. And I told you this yesterday, Charlie. That ain't going to happen.
No, but it's not about being ripped off, though. We know we're going to be. We know, right? We're going to overpay for whoever.
Of course, because you're
going to pay 100 for Alex.
We know that. Yeah, we know that.
City and Chelsea could have done a deal 2 weeks ago. Probably City would have happily paid 105, maybe even 110. But you were so insistent on getting 120, 130, 140, whatever it is now, that it's dragged on because City are not prepared to pay that fee. So if we end up paying the money because we're that desperate for the player in the end, we pay it, you're then just going to have to go and give this money to someone else anyway.
No,
sometimes it's better just to let the player go and take it out. This is exactly what happened to Newcastle last season.
No, I don't disagree with that.
Tried to strong-arm the player, tried to strong-arm Liverpool, said, we're not fucking doing it.
But I don't think...
we're selling him for this.
I agree with you, LB. But my point is, right, I don't think that Enzo Fernandez wants to leave the football club. I'm not naive enough to think that's not true. He absolutely does, right? But I don't think he doesn't want to leave anywhere near as much as Isak wanted out, right? So I look at this because if he did,
let's find out in the next few days.
We'll find out in the next few days. But my point is, right, is that if you are desperate to leave a football club at all costs and the clock's ticking and you're running out of days, you're going to, like, rightly or wrongly, you would probably refuse to play. You'd kick up a fuss. You'd be a problem behind the scenes. There's been none of that happening so far. I'm not
respectful. But if he's getting told off City and his agent that City are offering 115 or 120 and Chelsea are rejecting it, he might go, what the fuck are you doing?
He might do. And this is my point, right? And this is why I think when you do bid, that it will be below the 120, and you will then rely on him wanting to make the move and us rejecting that bid, because you're going to put that bid in and you know it'll be rejected.
If City bid out 115 for Enzo Fernandez and you rejected it, you're absolutely stupid.
Well, but as I said before, though, in my opinion, no, maybe so, but in my opinion, though, it's not necessarily just about the money. It's about who can we go and get the replacement. That's the thing. Like, we want Alex.
That's as if there's no midfielder.
No. I'm not saying there's no midfielders, right? But at this point in the window, like, for me personally, we should only be the only acceptable.
But you put yourself in this position by dragging it out for demanding such a high fee.
No, but I don't think the fee's unfair. Like, you can flip it this way as well, right?
120.
But you were happy to pay 116 for Elliot Anderson, who's done nowhere near as much in his career as Enzo Fernandez, and who is not a better player than Enzo Fernandez. So if you're worried about the fee, then you shouldn't have paid 116 for Anderson and set this price for the midfield market.
Yeah, but it's not about that though, Charlie. It's about it's about again. You've got to put it in Chelsea's perspective. What's best for Chelsea? Is this best for Chelsea right now? Dragging this on when there's 6 days.
But I don't think we've dragged it on though. I don't think we've dragged it on because
you've dragged it on by setting such a high fee.
But I think
I just told you.
I think it's
Charlie,
reasonable.
right? I just said this again. We could have done a deal, for 110.
So why didn't you?
Because you didn't want 110, you wanted 120, and then put this fucking stupid statement out about
that's my point, though. Like, you've got 120, so if you're, but this is my point, LB, right?
We don't need to get Enzo Fernandez in 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. No, but would you Fernandez in on deadline day? The club's going to be happy, aren't they?
But would you agree with me, right, that if you desperately wanted him, this would be done by now?
We'll get him towards the end of the window.
My point is, though, right? But do you agree with me that this is...
Charlie, that's not a good premise, though, because Liverpool desperately wanted Barcola, and we got him 27th August.
Yeah, no, but you're not understanding it, because they've won... And City
We've negotiated for almost a month.
You want to extract every last penny from City, and if you do that, that's going to drag on. That's your problem.
It's also your problem for putting no bid in, though. Where's the bid?
Because we're not going to pay the money that you want us to pay.
Well, then there's no deal, then.
But I'm saying, in the end, I think we will pay up. But so if you're going to be so happy because you got an extra 10 million, but it's...
I'm not, but the club will try and spin it that way. For me, personally, I think it's unacceptable to sell after the deadline. That's how I see it.
Okay, Charlie. And I agree with you. I agree with you because it's pathetic.
Yeah, it is. I agree. I agree, bro.
Let me ask Charlie a question. Let's say what LB says literally happens, and you get 10 extra million. Don't you think because you took so long to sell him, you're now going to have to also pay an extra 10, 20 million?
No, I already know that. I already know that with this few days left, that if we sell him, whoever we go and get, we're going to have to spend stupid money. And that's just the way it is.
So what's the whole point of this whole
situation? What's the point of this then?
Why didn't we just get this deal done weeks ago? You give us
a more reasonable price. Because you didn't pay the money.
Because you set the fee, Charlie, at a stupid price.
No, it's not a stupid... Is it a stupid price?
Yes.
I don't think LB, you always say that just pay the money, though, if you want a player.
No, but I think I'm getting Enzo Fernandez. So in my situation, in my belief right now, and Dan agrees with me, I think Enzo Fernandez ends up at Manchester City.
He may well do. I don't
give a fuck where it's today or deadline day. My opinion is that Enzo Fernandez will be a Manchester City footballer.
Yeah, but to us it matters though whether it's.
So that's more detrimental to Chelsea than it is to Manchester City.
But you do keep coming back to it matters what it looks like and all that. And you actually said I wouldn't do the deal now because I've self-imposed this deadline. So now I would.
You look stupid.
But looking stupid, I don't know. I think priorities in business should be different. I think if you'd rather look stupid than have 110 million quid that you can spend on a player who actually wants to play for you, then I don't see how Chelsea compete at the top table anymore. Because if looking good to rival fans is more important than stopping you doing this deal, I just don't get it. I don't care that much.
But this deal could have been done. City have got the money. They could have just paid the money.
You said a couple of things. You said one thing you said about Man City is they set the price by buying Elliot Anderson. Buying clubs don't set prices. Selling clubs don't set prices. Buying clubs set. At the moment, no one wants to give you the money you want for Enzo Fernandez.
Well, there's no deal there.
Bidding war. No, but in a situation where you want to sell the player and there's only one person really interested, why should they rush? Why should they go? Yeah, like if there's another club that comes in for Enzo, if Real Madrid suddenly go, do you know what? We've had another think about it and we do want him. Then yeah, you can start imposing deadlines and things. But at the moment, you've got a player who doesn't want to play for you. That one team is offering, I think, a fair price. And let's be honest, if you hadn't overpaid for Enzo Fernandez in the first place, you'd probably do this deal. You've got a player who doesn't want to play for you, that's getting booed, probably by your own fans. Well, it's hard to tell. You're saying that, he's behaving really well. Well, not actually, I'm putting words in your mouth. You didn't say that, but you said he hasn't thrown his toys out of the pram. He came out and said he wanted to leave. That's usually the start of not great not great behaviour.
I know he doesn't want to be here. I know that in an ideal world, right?
Like anyone who listened to him say it would know he didn't want to be there.
No,
Surely the people in Chelsea know it as well.
But at the same time, though, right? In my opinion, I look at it and I think, right, if the money's right and we can get a replacement, we're happy to.
No one's offering you more. Like no one's offering.
No,
you to sell your house.
We'd be happy
to sell your house. The highest bidder wins. That's that.
No, but we'd be happy to let him. We'd be happy to let him go, right? But Chelsea have maintained, and all the Chelsea sources have said that Chelsea would also be happy to keep him, and they wouldn't see that as a problem. Now, well, I don't know. I don't know whether he would be pissed or not. But he'd probably be.
I think he'd likely be pissed off.
He would be, but then he's
there for 110 million.
But then he's got to look at his agent. Then he's got to look at his agent, who's been diabolical in the whole situation.
Why is his agent more to blame than you lot? Like I don't.
Because his agents had 3 months to do a deal and couldn't get a deal done.
It's you. You're the selling club. You're the ones that stopping the deal going through.
Because we communicated to Pastore and Enzo Fernandez and any prospective buyers back in May that if you want Enzo Fernandez, the price is £120 million. And that was made.
And they were all like, no, it isn't. He's not worth it. And then nobody came and paid it.
Well, then he doesn't go anywhere then.
So if City put 110 on the table, you're telling me you'd reject it and keep an unhappy player at the football club?
I think we reject it, yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Well, that's great.
Charlie, don't you think you're doing a bit of what Newcastle did last summer?
Massively.
No, I don't look at it.
It's the same exact thing.
Don't start calling him a snake.
Eventually, you're gonna.
If he downs tools, Charlie, right? If he downs tools after because you set this mad feed, don't start calling him a snake, innit? Because you know this is the risk.
I haven't called him a snake. If he downs tools,
then if it happens, don't start
in January for 80 million.
You know the risks of keeping the player.
I know the risks.
It's not the same though. It's not the same though.
What's not the same?
As the Isak one.
What do you mean?
Because Isak weren't turning up to training. Isak was at a club where Isak.
Yeah, but those are the minute details.
Hold on. Isak wanted.
I'm saying from the club perspective.
Isak would actually have stayed at Newcastle if they'd given him the money he wanted. He wanted 300 grand a week, and they literally said, "We cannot give that to you. We physically cannot afford it."
Isak wanted to leave. Allow this narrative talk.
Yeah, Isak.
I just think last summer Newcastle did all this extra shit for no reason, and in the end,
I agree with that. But I don't think that's the same with Chelsea. I think Enzo's at Chelsea are a big club. Chelsea can still win trophies. You know, as I say, some people think they can compete for the league. You know, it's not the same as Newcastle. Newcastle had a mare of a summer window last summer. Do you know what I'm saying? And all their players have left them now. Like that's not going to happen to Chelsea next year. Cole Palmer probably will still be there. Rodgers will still be there. João Pedro will be there. Caicedo will be there. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not the same as Newcastle. Like. If he stays at Chelsea, he's still got a good future.
There are definitely differences between the situations, but ultimately, when we're talking about the similarity, we're saying that Newcastle held out to the last minute, then they still lost the player, and they didn't have time.
Yeah, Newcastle acted in the wrong way,
and Chelsea are doing it by the book and properly. Are we saying that?
No, but what I'm saying is though, like Isak wanted out at all costs, and he made that abundantly clear. Whereas, in my opinion, Enzo Fernandez wants out 100% factually, right? But I don't think he wants out at all costs. If the clubs can agree a deal, we'll let him go. Yeah.
But you think if Enzo doesn't get the move to Man City that he clearly wants, he'll be like, oh, well, fair enough, I'll stay here.
I mean, no, I think he'll be annoyed about it. But I in my opinion, I don't have any doubts that he would then refuse to play or he'd kick up a fuss. Or
do you think his performances would be at the level that...
I don't think anywhere anyway, to be honest with you.
I mean, it's impossible to tell, but...
Based on likelihood, do you think it's likely that...
I mean, look, you would maybe expect in the first few games after the window closes, if he's still here, maybe the performances won't be at their level because he will be disappointed or whatever. But I also feel that, like, if Xabi Alonso if he ends up staying and Alonso, doesn't feel like he's up to it or whatever, or this or that, he just won't play him. Like, he'll play because he's in the right frame of mind to play, and because he's happy to play, and the manager thinks it's the right thing to do.
You're willing to take that risk over £10 million?
Well, I think the club would take that risk. Yeah,
that's insane.
We'll find out in a few days.
I mean, that's insane.
I can't believe Charlie's sinking this badly, Esther. You've had a really bad performance today.
What do you mean?
You've had a really bad. I can't lie to you. I love to trigger LB, but he's been so logical this whole stream.
So what I've said is just utter nonsense, then, Sam, is it?
Yes, because here's the thing.
Yeah, I think it is nonsense.
Can I tell you
No,
why
that's
it's
fine.
nonsense?
That's fine. It's all opinions at the end of the day.
Okay, can I tell you why it's a nonsense? I believe
I back Charlie. I back Charlie in this one.
I believe Adam Wharton.
Yeah, that's proof.
That's proof that you're not saying. I believe Adam Wharton would have been available at the start of the window, and he would have been the perfect replacement for Enzo Fernandez, because Adam Wharton and Caicedo complement each other.
I agree.
Had you sold Enzo early, even for, in the words of LB, which I agree with, 10 million less, you could have gotten Adam Wharton for a normal price. Like you could have gotten Wharton for an 80, 90 million type price tag. You could have gotten him in. Now, you're going to have to pay the extra 10 million you made anyway back in a replacement that might not be as good as the original one. So you're going to have to go pay like 100 million for an Alex Scott or something like that.
I'm aware we'll have to overpay.
And that's a huge risk. Huge.
Don't you have midfielders anyway? Like, haven't you been
numbers wise.
Lavia
Yes.
played, didn't he?
Numbers wise, we do. We've got quantity,
numbers wise.
But actual quality wise, we need. Like, for me personally, like if Enzo ended up staying, we still needed one more regardless. Like if he goes, I think we need two, but we're not going to get two. We've got Caicedo, you've got Lavia. I think Lavia's top, but he's a luxury because he's not been able to show that he can stay fit during his 3 years at the club. So he's a luxury player. He's not someone you can rely on. You've then got Jordan Henderson, who you don't really want him to be seeing the pitch too much. You've got Barco, who's a complete unknown in the Premier League. You don't really know what he's going to do. Reece James, I think, is going to be converted, arguably, to a full-time midfield player, probably. And then Sugu, you've got, who's probably going to go on loan. So there's numbers, but we lack quality in there. So we need someone else.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just grab these two parts. I'm going to ask you guys the last question before we wrap up. Big up to MGN Blue. He's really triggered at ULB. Why does the City fan pretend to have never set a deadline before? Come back in January if you still want him.
All right. But why don't Chelsea just release a statement now on the website? Enzo Fernandez will not be sold by Chelsea this transfer window. Why don't you just do that?
No, I don't disagree. That's what I've been saying.
Statement right now on their website.
I
Chelsea
agree,
FC statement. Picture the corner flag and say Enzo Fernandez is not for sale at any price this transfer window. Any bids will be immediately rejected.
I don't disagree with you, bro.
You don't do that because you guys want to sell the player. This is what I've said. Like,
on our terms. This is what I'm saying, right?
So you want to have your cake and eat it. You want to get the max amount of money for him and then go and get the player that you want and not get rid of.
That's why they're the best sellers in the world, isn't it? Because they always do get.
So that's your problem, isn't it?
But it's also your problem for not paying the money when you've got it.
Maybe City have a backup. We got linked with Kone. We got linked with Water.
Yeah, maybe
City are happy to drag this out and maybe have.
I hear your point, but also I think it's fair to say that if you're that desperate for the player, we know you've got the money. Just pay the money.
Does Barcola take?
Maybe we're not as desperate as people make out.
Yeah, I don't think they are.
Maybe you're not.
In which case, we're right to drag it out. We're correct to drag this out as long as possible.
Why would we make it easy for City to go sign him? You are the effing competition. You have never bullied us in the transfer before and never will.
You say we've never bullied you, yeah? But we literally took your manager off you and you then released a statement blaming us for your season. Oh, Manchester City ruined our season because they took our manager. Oh, now they need to pay us £10 million.
Oh, God.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
I've never seen LB cook Chelsea like this since the days he was telling me.
And this guy saying, don't make it easy for City. Bro, if we was to give you 110 million, who the fuck is saying we rinse Chelsea?
Thanks.
That's still a great deal for Chelsea getting 110 million for Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah.
Acting as if it's like no money whatsoever.
Fair. Chelsea don't care if a player refuses to play. They'll happily keep paying you not to play. They did it with Sterling. You're dealing with mad business owners here.
Can I just say that they're not mad business owners. The investment in a football club will return huge. Will there be a huge return on that investment? We've already seen clubs go up by the billions. So the more money that comes in, we're seeing Google coming in. Money's coming in. So even if they're completely useless, bit like the Trump era, like even if you're a completely useless businessman, you're still going to make money, right? So they're going to make money. But I think by their own admission, I mean, Todd Boehly's coming out saying, I didn't know anything, but I became sporting director. Yeah, you can't claim that's a well-run club anymore, you know? And this nonsense about, right, deadline. Yeah, where is exactly that message? Come out and say, I don't know what you deaf. We said we're not selling him. Next question. But that's not what's going to happen. And I think the idea that Chelsea don't want to look stupid is a problem to me anyway, because I don't care how stupid my club looks if we're getting the deals done that we should do and we're winning the titles that we need to be winning.
Absolutely spot on.
I agree with that. Look, I don't want to keep this going for too long. 10 minutes and we'll end. I just want to ask the Arsenal rep, our lovely Dan. Big up to all of you guys. By the way, we got 1.3k people locked in. Just close the live chat and hit the like button, you bunch of frauds. I think this was a great Enzo Fernandez debate. I haven't seen LB this heated about Chelsea since telling them to sign Osimhen. And then
LB thinks we're title contenders.
And then cooking everyone in the terrace chat for not listening to him.
Got a chance.
2 months later.
Obviously, United are winning the league, and because Touchline told us last week.
And then they lost to Hull. Where's Ian? He told them, "Oh, you old man, we're not going to lose to Hull." But
did anyone take you up on that £50 bet that you wouldn't get?
No, he didn't. He didn't take me up. Otherwise, I would have had to pay him. He didn't. He didn't because someone added me and said you've got to pay this guy £50, and I said he didn't take the bet. He never said yes.
Who was the guy?
There was some guy who put some super chat.
Come get your chain back, Ian. He cooked.
Some guy put some super chat, and I would have had to pay him £50.
Is he
anyway, like sub chat. Let me just ask Dan. Do you think there is a chance that Alvarez signs for Arsenal after the news that came out yesterday? Basically, for the ones that don't know, there's like this Atletico journalist that is in verbatim said, for the first time in the saga, the doors of Alvarez to Arsenal has opened up. That's the Atletico journalist who said that. So,
yeah. So like I've been following this, obviously, really. The one thing that's really surprised me is how many Arsenal fans don't want him because he won't immediately say, I've always dreamed of playing for Arsenal, which is just madness. You know, like our greatest players in history, Dennis Bergkamp didn't grow up saying one day I want to play for Arsenal. It's all right to get a player who'd rather go somewhere else. The reality of the situation was that since June the 22nd, when out of nowhere, Julian Alvarez came out and said, I don't think this is the right time to speak about this, but I'm going to speak about this. I've spoken to people at Atletico, and the best is for us both to separate, or for us to, do a transfer. At that time, he said, so I can follow my dream. And we all know, I think, we're intuiting that dream is Barcelona. He's never explicitly said it. He has never come out. He could have on that day said, I want to go to Barcelona. The reality is he grew up idolizing Messi. If you're Alvarez, of course you want to play for Barcelona. They've just let Lewandowski go. It couldn't be a better time for him to join Barcelona and live his dream. But the world is the world, and your dreams are your dreams. And without appearing too crass, I was always told, dream in one hand and crap in the other and see which fills up first, right? So what I'm saying is he has now increasingly been faced with a position. Atletico Madrid won't accept Barcelona's offer. Barcelona put a self-imposed ceiling on their transfer to him of 100 million at the start of the window. So they've said, we're not spending more than 100. I don't know if they can actually finance a deal in the level that we could finance. Real Madrid obviously did the publicity stunt and offered 150 million, and Atletico turned it down. I absolutely understand Atletico's position that they don't want to strengthen a rival. Partly, I think it's mad, because to say that they don't want to strengthen a rival is to say that keeping a player who's now having a tummy bug and won't play and doing all the things that Charlie was talking about, Enzo Fernandez not doing. The reality is no one else seems to be in for Alvarez because PSG pulled out, said they only sign players who absolutely want to play for them. And that's PSG. They got the money and the prestige. I don't think we're in that bracket yet. And so where is he going to go? If he's either going to, at this point, he either stays at Atletico or he goes to Arsenal. All this nonsense that's come out in the last couple of days about he won't return Mikel Arteta's phone calls. I can't find any truth to that whatsoever. They have spoken. There's no way Andrea Berta, who actually signed him for Atletico, would be this far into this deal if there wasn't the belief, at, let's say 50-50, that he could come. The reality is, I think all the Arsenal fans right now go, don't want him. If he plays well for the first 6 games, that'll all die down.
He's miles better than what you've got.
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah, I think well, you're saying he's better than Gyökeres. I'd love to find the idiot that disagree with you on that one, but it won't be me.
But do you know what his problem is though? Like, because me and LB spoke about this the other day. He was naive, maybe to go to Atletico Madrid, and he was naive to sign such a long-term contract there as well. Because if your dream was always to play for Barcelona, you know that Atletico Madrid hate selling to Barcelona. They had the issues with Griezmann, the big fallout over the Griezmann thing. They've had, Joao Felix going there, and they're like Atletico Madrid and Barcelona don't get on. Atletico Madrid don't like doing business with Barcelona.
We can look back with 2020 vision and say, but at the time he left Man City, there was a great deal of fondness for him from Pep Guardiola, who didn't really want to see. But like Pep never used to stand in people's ways.
He wanted to be the main guy,
Yeah, and you get dropped for the Champions League final, whether you win it or not. His whole thing was, I want to go and be the number one player somewhere. And I think at that time, the option wasn't Barcelona. So he took the best option that was available to him. I think we wanted him at the time, but City didn't want to sell him to us. And that, I think, made a lot of sense. With hindsight. But the other thing is he's 26 years old. He wants to play. I don't know. I hear all these people saying, oh, we shouldn't sign anyone whose dream isn't to play for us. Can we just pretend for a minute? Like, if we can't tune into reality, can we pretend that these are people being paid huge amounts of money to do a job? Like, I've been in situations where I didn't really want to work for one company. I wanted to work for another company. Then this company offered me a lot more money. And suddenly I was all right about working for that company, because your career is short and you don't always get your first pick. You don't always
it's okay accepting that, like, South American players dream of playing for Barcelona, Madrid, because all their childhood heroes played there.
Maradona, Xavi, Mascherano.
How many, like Messi? You can mention so many.
The problem he's got though is he's now, the way this saga's played out, with the way that maybe he's conducted himself and what
how's he conducted himself?
Well, in terms of saying that he wants to leave the club, he wants to join Barcelona, this and that. But I think the problem he's got.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a second.
No, but just quickly, right?
It makes him he's behaving well.
The problem he's got now is he's backed himself into a corner here, right?
Yes, he has.
He doesn't want to be at Atletico Madrid. Clearly. But then, does he give up on his dream of going to Barcelona?
Well, the other thing that Arsenal fans say is, like, why do we want a player who? There are a lot of Arsenal fans I've heard saying, why do we want to sign a player in 2 years' time? Because I don't expect him to spend the rest of his life at Arsenal. Like, if he does, brilliant. But he comes to Arsenal,
I tell you what,
we win the Champions League, and I'll buy him a good boy card.
Would you accept, right, signing Alvarez this window? But he gave you 2 seasons, but you knew after 2 seasons he'd be going to Barcelona. You'd sign for that.
We had Mark Overmars. We signed Mark Overmars. We won the double, and he went to Barcelona. We signed Manu Petit. We won the double, and he went to Barcelona.
Arsenal are right now. Arsenal in a win now situation. They've got the squad. It's about farming as many trophies as they possibly can before it all comes crashing down. Right. So why on earth would you not go and get Alvarez?
If there's a better player, get him. But at the moment, I'm looking at it going, yes, he's better than Gyökeres, and I don't think that's controversial. Well, yes, he's a better forward. Maybe we should have got an out-and-out left winger. I could see that, and I'm gutted we didn't get Barcola. My dream transfer situation would have been Guimaraes, Barcola, and Alvarez, but we're still in the talks. To the question, Hussam, like, I just don't know how this resolves itself any other way. I see it as a logic puzzle. He could stay even on the 22nd of June, and this is where I think Atleti fans are mental, but I wonder how much is orchestrated. Burning his flag, burning his kit because he said he wants to leave. We've never done that. I've never gone, right, that's it. I'm going to buy the shirt to burn
Sam's done that, though. Liverpool fans burnt Gerrard's shirt when he was going to come Chelsea.
They raided his fucking house.
Sam, you were one of those Liverpool, you were one of those Gerrard shirt burners, weren't you, when he was going to come to Chelsea?
Look, I think Dan and LB have been spot on today. I don't even want to be next to you, absolute losers. So let me put you next to each other.
Right, I think the disrespect that you're showing us is disgraceful.
Let me speak. You see how he's interrupting me already? Let me speak. You know, Dan is so... I love when people know that they're not like the biggest in the world and it's okay. It's like Liverpool fans who get exceptionally triggered that Konate went to Real Madrid or whatever. Guys, Real Madrid are the biggest club in the world. Like, it's just, I accept that Alexis McAllister did not grow up in Argentina 20 years ago dreaming of playing for Liverpool. Let's just be honest. Guys, every South American kid grew up dreaming for Barcelona, Real Madrid, R9, you know, Messi, Rivaldo, all the greats I can mention you right now, Roberto Carlos, all the Ronaldinhos, all the incredible players, they grew up playing for Barcelona and Real Madrid, and they want to follow in their footsteps.
Speak for yourself,
It's
bro.
okay to understand that. This summer, when Alexis McAllister was linked to Real Madrid, I said, guys, they grow up dreaming to play for those clubs, and it's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I agree with LB in terms of Arsenal should win now. I don't care if Alvarez will throw a hissy fit 2 years from now to go to Barcelona. Guess
I
what?
agree.
In those next 2 years, I'm going to have 2 Prems. I'll try win 1 Champions League. I'll try win 2 or 3 domestic cups. As he said, farm as many trophies as possible. And then I'll send him off to Barcelona. No problem. I'll lay the red carpet and I'll go buy the next big thing after that. It's okay. You know, so Alvarez eventually wants to achieve his dream. And guess what? He might achieve his dream through the doors of Arsenal. I said this on the terrace yesterday on Straight Facts. I said Alvarez could have like a special release clause for Barcelona in his contract.
I've said this. I said this as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I have the same exact thought process as LB. You know what he could do? Let's say Arsenal buy him for 140 million pounds.
But you're not.
Let's
you're not
assume that's the
factoring
number.
in- you're not
Let's just
factoring
assume
in-
that's the number. He could put in a Barcelona release clause for 150 million. That way, Arsenal
do the same
make 10
price.
million
No, do the
pounds.
same
You're not
price.
factoring. You're not
Get the
factoring.
money
Yeah,
back.
or even same price. That way they don't lose money.
Barcelona specific, happy days.
No,
Yeah.
because you're not factoring in the fact that Barca might go and buy someone else now, and then they might have a new striker, and he will
Who?
never get that move.
Who are they
That's
getting?
what
No,
I'm saying.
it'll
They
get-
might,
no,
they
I
might,
think
they
they'll
might go
still-
and
That's
get a
got
new
nothing to do with
upcoming striker.
Alvarez. If Barcelona don't
That has
want
nothing to do with
Alvarez,
Alvarez,
he can't go to
But
Barcelona.
they do want Alvarez. But the thing is, if next
Why are
summer
they-
someone else becomes available, they're going to be like, we need a striker
I
now.
want
Just let
Mbappe,
what
but you
they'll
do
do.
have to put the money up. It's like they haven't
Yeah,
even.
but
come
they
in-
put the money up. It's just that
Who did?
Barca, they bidded 100
Yeah,
million.
but big clubs like this
Right,
can get
100 million.
stopgaps. Madrid wanted Mbappe for.
I-
I agree they should have bidded more. They should have been more, and they also
Have
the
to.
terms that they gave the deal was like
Yeah,
20
but
million
Atletico
per year, and they were
refused
like,
to
well, we
sell
can't.
Alvarez
Well-
to Barcelona, bro.
Yeah, because they took the piss with the first offer. That's why.
No,
Right,
they,
so-
they
so-
rejected
so if they
Real
sell
at
him to
150
Arsenal,
as well.
if they
so
sell
it
him to
No,
wasn't-
but what it
Arsenal.
was is because of the payment terms as to why they.
But if they sell him to
Alvarez
Arsenal,
never
then
wants to
they
join
can
Real.
get him next year or the year after from Arsenal. Because Arsenal won't have any problems selling him to Barcelona. They've got no beef with Barca.
Also, I think Barcelona are intelligent and
But
they
the
go,
point
like,
is
yeah,
they're
the
saying
players we
that-
want, we sometimes can't get. Like, you know, maybe we'd open a door and fling our arms wide for Mbappe as well, but he's not
I
coming.
think-
So sometimes you have to be realistic.
I think this is like a bad thing for football because of the whole like just in the sense of like players now should just start taking control of their careers more and have. That's why what Isak did. I didn't even get mad at it.
Do you know what? Like Kadioglu, I don't want to just open a new thread of debate, but the current reality of football transfers is it's not possible to legally uphold any of them. Footballers, if they had the same rights as normal employees under the Treaty of Rome, could just give you 4 weeks' notice and go, thanks, but I want to go. And legally, that's been challenged and upheld. So this whole transfer is just held together by, and the idea, and I totally get what you're saying, touch on the idea. The idea that like transfers are ridiculous. The money in football has to go somewhere. It has consistently gone to the players, and
It
is
always will go
continuing
to players. And that's where it should go, in my opinion.
Probably best to, yeah, because I mean,
Where else
otherwise
does it
it's
go?
the owners. Yeah, it's the
Exactly.
owners.
You want to go
Or
to the owners?
they could give
It's
it.
better for all of us if Alvarez doesn't go to Arsenal.
Of course,
But
I
if
don't want
put myself
Alvarez
in
to go to
Atletico-
Arsenal. Yeah,
If I put myself in Atletico's shoes and somehow I get like Jokeras and money for Alvarez, that's a good deal for me.
Mm.
And I tell Alvarez, listen, 2 years from now, go to Barcelona. No problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why, but
Because-
you asked me what I think was going to happen, and I can't see how he stays at Atleti and there's no one else interested in him. So, like I'm saying, 70% he comes to Arsenal.
I think Arsenal today should put a public bid out there and just
they
dangle
should,
it.
yeah.
I agree with that as
I
well.
agree.
I
agree with
think
that.
Arsenal should get serious. Put the bid out there.
Why would
Trouble
they do
is,
that if he
LB,
doesn't wanna
I
join?
agree.
Like, that's just a dumb thing to do.
It's
No,
not,
but
it's
I-
not a
Even
dumb thing
on
to do.
Steve-
It's
It's
a
not
very
dumb
dumb
to
thing.
do.
It's going to look
140 million
stupid. And then
off
Why are
it
you
looks
all
stupid.
asked about looking stupid,
It's
man?
mad.
I've got
I think
such
it's about
small
it's about
ego.
intention,
Because
isn't it?
that's how they're operating.
Such a
That's how-
small ego.
But
Who
it's
gives a
about
fuck?
showing-
Your club,
it's
your
about
club,
showing your
your club does the
intention.
exact same thing.
It's
Why
the
are
same
you
thing when
fucking down
Arsenal
there so
attempted
bothered,
Vinny.
man?
Oh, he's never going to leave.
I think it's about
Oh,
showing
sorry.
intentions, though.
They've
Put-
already
put-
been
put-
humiliated by
Yeah.
Vinny Jr. So
I
who
mean,
gives a
put
fuck
the money
anyway?
on the table.
I don't
and give
feel
him a
humiliated.
choice.
Just
No,
saying.
I know. I'm just making a point that they've already been
No, yeah,
rejected
yeah.
once. So who gives a
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
if they get rejected twice?
Yeah,
Put
no,
the
we'll
bid
see.
out there. And if
LB,
Alvarez-
why doesn't Man City just randomly put a bid out for Vinicius Jr. 300 million? on public on Twitter. Just say, "Oh, I'm going to bid 300 million for Vinicius Junior." Why did they do it?
What are you on about?
Literally the same context, isn't it? Why don't they just put a bid out? Then you need a winger. You need a winger. Let's go and put a 300 million pound bid for Vinicius Junior.
What are you going on about?
It's the exact same thing you've just said. Literally the exact same thing you just said.
Explain to me how a player like Alvarez, who wants out, and Arsenal
doesn't want to join Arsenal. Don't say he wants out because he doesn't want to join Arsenal. That's the point.
Brother. Yeah, but the point is, if he's that desperate to leave Atletico Madrid, and Arsenal have got a bid right there for him with a release clause specific to Barcelona, he might just go, I don't really want to go to Arsenal, but I'd rather be at Arsenal than Atletico, and I've got a clause to go to Barcelona next year or the year after.
Yeah. This one of the chats.
How on earth is that similar to put a
£300
million bid in?
You just said, "Oh, go put a public bid out on Twitter."
Player
has made it clear, by the way, he doesn't want to join Arsenal, and that's
when did he do that?
Report said
when did he do that? When has he made it clear? When has he come out and said, "I don't want to go to Arsenal"?
Does he want to join Barcelona?
When did he say he doesn't?
Has he made that clear that he wants to join Barca?
How has he ever publicly said he wants to join Barca? Can you find any quotes on the June 22nd?
He did it in the World Cup. I remember it.
No,
he did it in the World Cup.
No, he didn't. He said my goal, my dream. He didn't say Barca. He could have said Barca, and he didn't. Go and look it up. He has never said Barca. Everybody does this in football. They get the bit of information they want, and they decide that they know something they don't know. We have no idea what's going on. And there's another comment there going, wanting a player that doesn't want to play for you is cuck behaviour. Why is everything so hypersexualised in football? This is not about trying to shag him. This is about having a guy come to your team and play really well for you for a couple of years.
Alvarez said on Sky Sports interview, "If I leave Atletico Madrid, it'll only be for Barcelona." He said that in the World Cup.
No, he did. No, he didn't.
I literally just typed up. It said in the Sky Sports interview. He literally said,
Bring it up on screen.
If I leave Atletico Madrid, it will only be for Barcelona.
And he said that in the World Cup.
No, I remember he did an interview at the World Cup. I remember they asked him about Barca.
The June 22nd, after the Austria game, he came out and said, "I've spoken. I don't think this is the right time to talk about it, but watch me talk about it," which is a weird way to start. I've spoken to the people I need to, and it's best for both of us we do a transfer, not a transfer to Barcelona. He further went on to say, "Allow me to follow my dream." And his dream, I think we all know he wants to go to Barcelona, but if Barcelona aren't even putting up 110 million for him because they can't afford it. And God knows how they're going to pay his wages anyway under the strict rules they've been under for the last 5 years. They couldn't even register Danny Olmo.
Got a bounce. Love. Big eyebrow.
Big up that line.
Anyway, I just think this gets so everybody says, people saying he hasn't even spoken to Arteta. I think I agree with LB. It'd be nice if Andrea Berta just went, "Look, here's 130 million. Can we get this deal done?" But then that's how I would do it. Andrea Berta has been a sporting director for 15 years. He's got good pedigree. If he says, "I prefer to do it this way," no one's listening to me.
Did he come from Atletico Madrid as well?
Yeah, he was there for 12 years. He signed every major player for them for 12 years. He knows this deal inside out. I think there is a point where I find it really interesting. A lot of Arsenal fans will be absolutely gutted if we don't do some deal this window. And I think if the right deal isn't there to be done, the next best deal is no deal. And I know that people are going to get upset though. But I
agree. I said the same thing.
We wanted Barcola and he wanted Liverpool.
I agree. Just do business for doing business sake, man.
Yeah, it's better to do. If you can't get the deal you want, it's better to do no deal.
And there isn't someone out there we want, unfortunately. Alvarez, I think it ticks all the boxes. He would have been my first choice at the start of the window. I am gutted that he's not jumping around in an Arsenal shirt going, "Please God, I've always wanted to play for Arsenal." But the fact he won the treble with Man City was never really likely. But all these people saying he doesn't want to leave Spain. I think no one wants to go to Saudi, but they all seem to be tempted. And I can't remember what it is that tempts people anymore now.
You don't know how desperate he is to get out of Atletico Madrid. That's the point. That's why I said dangle the bid at him. Because if you put the bid out there, right, and he gets to deadline day and he's like, "I really fucking hate Atletico Madrid," then he might just go, "You know what? I will go Arsenal for a couple of years." If he's not that desperate to leave Atletico Madrid, then he won't go to Arsenal and he'll wait until next summer and he'll go to Barcelona next summer.
Do you think that they played
put
him?
the bid there and then it's
Do you think they played him against Villarreal just to convince him to leave? Because I just thought that was mad. He could have pretended
to leave anyway.
No, he wanted to leave, but there's a difference between wanting to leave and then having the fans boo you and tell you to go, and think, "Oh, I've got repaired." I know that Atleti always seem to have.
That can be repaired though. If he ends up staying, that can be repaired.
Can be. but it can't really be repaired to a point where he then goes to Barcelona next season.
The damage is
maybe not.
permanently done.
It was for Griezmann, and he turned
a
it
weird
around.
team, mate. They're
They
moving.
are, but they are exactly like Newcastle. They're exactly like, close your ears to this one. I'm not trying to trigger you, Charlie, but like they're like Chelsea as well. They care more about the wrong things. It's like, big teams. Real Madrid don't do this. Barcelona aren't doing this. Arsenal, we are aspiring to be a big club. And all these people say, having a player that doesn't want to play for you, that's fine. I'll take it. I don't think that Dennis Bergkamp wanted to play for us. I think that he wanted to play for Inter and it didn't work out. Thierry Henry was at Juventus. So, like, our greatest players probably were examples of people. Mark Overmars, I've already mentioned.
It's true. Dan, if Barcelona or Real Madrid tomorrow decided that they wanted David Raya, you not think David Raya would be like, I want to go fucking Real Madrid or Barcelona? No, of course he does. Not a lot of these players, you know what I mean, would rather be at Barcelona or Real Madrid.
Boys, I've got to shoot. Nice one.
Big up, man. Like Rodri's gone to fucking Spain, like go and play for at the end of the day.
That one surprised me, I have to say.
They're employees, man. And employees move around and they move businesses and they get different jobs. Yeah. And I just
when the
cannot
club
believe
wants
that
you're gone. Like Martinelli would dig his heels in and desperately try and stay up. But when we don't want you, you go. And so I think, look, players have a lot of power in their contracts if they're really good. If Julian Alvarez, people saying, if you sign him, he won't play well for you. If he doesn't play well for us for 2 years, Barcelona's interest dries up. So he's got reasons to play really well for us. He's totally incentivized. And I would quite happily take him today. I think Andrea Berta has had a conversation with him, said, come to us for 2 years, go to Barcelona. You're 28 years old. You've lived your dreams. You've earned well. You've built your reputation. That's it.
Release clause to Barca, same money, get our money back, and you can go to Barcelona, no questions asked.
Get our money back in 2 years, and like all this kind of it's what you said. It's what you said earlier. It's like all these people talking about losing face. It's like Arsenal fans who get upset when we haven't won the Champions League because other fans sing at us. Because they're going to sing at us whatever happens. Like there's never going to be a time where Arsenal turn up to play and people don't take the mickey out. Yeah, that's what. Thank you.
Yeah.
And if you can't take it, like I don't know if it's banter in cricket, do that instead. Like, there's got to be a point where you just go, rival fans are going to say stuff. There's I think a lot of it is social media where it's all performative and it's all, my team this and I did this. It's like, you know what? I'm really proud of my team.
There's far too much ego involved in football fans nowadays, though.
Dan, they always talk about I did and I won and we,
if you're a big team, right, you're going to get rejected for the best players because you're going to have competition. I say it all the time. We got rejected for Declan Rice. We got rejected off Jude Bellingham. We got rejected off Florian Wirtz. What's the alternative? Go and sign in scrubs so you know you're going to sign them.
Yeah, you know what? And that's so true, isn't it? Because look at look how Vinny. This is the other thing, the narrative that drives me mental. Vinny Jr. just used the interest from Arsenal to get a better deal from Real Madrid because apparently Real Madrid had no idea anyone else in the world wanted to sign him. They were like, if you either sign with us or no one else will want you. And then another team came along and said, no, I think Vinny Jr. is really good. And it's like, until this point, Vinny Jr. wasn't going to do a deal. It's just nonsense narratives that get posted over and over again. Like, Man City have ruined the transfer market by spending too much.
Well, even if Vinny Jr. did use Arsenal, at least Arsenal put the hand in, that they actually went for him and tried.
Yeah. Like, to try and fail is always better than to just sit around and wait.
Oh, we'll just go and sign some League Two players so we guarantee we sign them, then we can all be fucking buzzing.
Yeah. And then get relegated and or beat.
Well, at least you've got players who 100% want to be there and you didn't get rejected off the best players in the world. That's We don't want to get
and to be honest, we as a club, Arsenal, even in our majestic period, we lost players, right? So we aren't the world's greatest football club apart from when we're chanting that we are.
None of us are on this panel, man. If anyone wants to go Real Madrid, they're going Real Madrid.
Yeah, that's it. That is it. We lost to Real Madrid.
Supers for we wrap up. How much danger is Jurgen Klopp's Premier League legacy in if Arteta goes back-to-back league wins? Champions League win is something else. When you guys ask questions like this, you think you're going to trigger me or something, but I'm not attached to these managers like crazy. At the end of the day, Liverpool in my lifetime had plenty of successful managers. Benitez won us a Champions League. Klopp won us a Premier Champs. Slot won us a Premier League. Even across history, we had the likes of Paisley, Shankly, different Fagan. Many managers, Kenny Dalglish, won stuff at Liverpool. So it's not just one guy. Yes, if a manager wins 2 league titles, he has a better Premier League legacy than the guy who won 1 league titles. Great. that like doesn't change my love towards Jurgen Klopp at all, you know. So
Would you be really disappointed because Liverpool have been really successful? It wasn't Klopp that did it. It's like, what a silly question.
yeah, it doesn't matter to me. Klopp
At
just
all.
built us up, you know, and then after
Yeah.
that, whoever's gonna win now is reaping the benefits of Klopp's great work. That's it. Sam, I'm surprised they didn't do anything else while working on Barcola. Hamid, I agree with you completely, bro. I agree with you completely. And I said all summer long, we haven't like planned to fail. We've just failed to plan. Once again, this is like Chelsea, but in reverse. Instead of us getting transfers done early, we're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. We knew Barcola was going to be a saga, but we could have gotten a center back, a right back, a DM long ago. Now, look, everyone's link is in the description. Thank you guys so much for joining us on yet another stream. There's going to be a Hussam x Tom Little tonight at 11 to talk about Bradley Barcola. Just me and Tom, like the good old days. You get me? So watch out for that. We're also going to be uploading a someone thinking Barcola is an average winger clip soon. So watch out for that. Plenty of content coming your way. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Subscribe to It's LB, the Gunner channel, Blue Brothers CFC, and Touchline Facts. I'm going to redirect you to Charlie right now as he's going to go live. I'm sure LB is going to be in his comment section bullying him again. Because he's going to go live, start talking about the Enzo Fernandez transfer at Chelsea. So I'm sending you guys over to Charlie's channel. Go over there, tell him Sam Raid. Love you all, and peace out, people.